Hello everybody, Timber Furry here, back with Amorous. Now, where we left off was when we had a date with Jax and all that stuff, and we had a kiss, and so far that's where we left off. So, let's answer our phone, because, well, I think I'm supposed to be calling him. I'm not sure if I want to keep going with this, or try a new character, but this is what we're doing. I like to say that that kiss last time until our next date. As you can see, I've not gotten better at reading. I've just gotten worse. I know, even Kobe was getting tired of me talking about it. However, the ultimate dating disaster struck life. My job search started getting calls back, and that I meant interviews that would, oh my god, wounded up only being a couple, but they were all scheduled for in the afternoon. For the next couple of days, I rushed into the office or store and tried to remain composed and calm while I glanced at the clock. Both times it ran along, and once I'd gotten free, Jax was already getting ready for work and nearly out the door. I resolved to sacrifice a little sleep the second night and try to at least catch him at work. We could go out after his shift, maybe grab some breakfast, and try to get back into something resembling normal. I slapped the alarm clock and dragged myself out of bed. Dude! I don't think I could get up like that. It felt a little strange downing a cup of coffee while it was dark out, but the last thing I wanted to do was head to the club and wind up passing out on the table as the caffeine settled into my system, and I found myself alert. I started thinking about what to wear. After a few moments, I got myself together enough to head out the door. The schedule wasn't sustainable. I knew that. I eventually have to get a job. Bills sadly don't pay themselves. What that meant, we never had any free time together. I mean, I could try to find a shift somewhere to sync up with his, but I chuckled to myself and I pulled into the club parking lot. If I was this concerned, then it would probably be worth making the effort. The place was hopping, packed in nearly 12 walls. This doesn't even look any different as last time. With people dancing, drinking, generally having time, I wove my way into the undulating crowds, keeping an eye out for both Jax and any club goers who might try to drag me off again. Oh yeah, the last time this girl tried to drag me off, and I was just like, no, I'm loyal to Jax. You can't make me. You can't make me. Okay. I saw him briefly bobbing a little blue cork of a sea of rainbow colors, but couldn't get close enough to wave him down. Disheartened, but not willing to give up, I managed to squeeze my way to the bar and found a seat. Yes, we found a seat, guys. Like I'm sitting right now. Oh, no, not you. I wanted Jax. Can I get you some? Oh, hey, it's you. Dropping to see Jax again. I have no idea how to make characters' voices. I have one straight voice that's really annoying to you guys, so this is why you kind of watch my video. If I can, it looks pretty crazy tonight. Yeah, we had another group come in an hour or so ago. I guess the word is getting out about the club. It's great for business, but terrible for our personal lives. I've gotten to see my SO in ages. What's SO. Somebody comment what SO means. I don't know what that means. That comment didn't look boldy? That comment didn't look Bodie. What? Who uses that word? Well, if he was still managing a relationship, there was hope at least. He poured me something to take the edge off and moved down the bar to the next customer. Meanwhile, I kept an eye out for Jax. He was helping a rather rowdy group of customers in the back booth. I waved and he noticed me smiling brightly. Unfortunately, he didn't notice when two of them got up from the table and spun around to set down the last glass of a flourish. With a flourish. Not a flourish, but with a flourish. Oh, I never even... I'm actually reading some of the drinks in the background, and one of them says Southern Cum Spit. Right there. It's right by the horse's head, in case you can't see my mouse cursor. But we got Jack Spanavils, something like that. Positive vodka, a lot of positive stuff. And the other ones are just kind of weird and colorful bottles. Collided with two customers and sent both their drinks in the tray he was carrying for the floor with a crash. Despite it being barely audible above the pumping music, I still flinched at the sound. I barely had time to get my feet before the customer Jax he had collided with was shoving and yelling at him. Oh man, I don't want to get in a fight. Yelling at him. Jax was turning into a deep purple and apologizing profusely. I can't say shit, guys, I'm sorry. As I saw another person walk up, this is the one wearing a shirt and tie. Soon, the three of them were at it with each other, and a few more words, Jack turned and headed towards the door. I didn't know what was going on, but I needed to find out. I slid my hand into my backpack, or my back pocket, before waving down the bartender as I reached to pull out a bill. He shook his head. Don't worry about it. It's on the house. Just go check up on him, okay? I thanked him for stopping and grabbing my keys before making my way towards the door. The mob was difficult to push through, but I could hear the customer in the back still complaining about the service. Oh, he's so upset. That's so sad. Judging by what everybody is wearing at this club, I want to know where it is. Because I look good in a Speedo, I swear. Jack was standing just outside when I got there. His eyes were downcast and shut tightly as his hand pressed against his forehead to shield his face from view. I tried to approach, but he just backed away from me. Jax, it wasn't your fault. It was an accident. I'm sure this will all be cleared up in no time. Why did you leave? He bit his lip, keeping his face turned from me. I could barely tell by the washed out color of his scales and the soft sounds he tried holding back that he was crying. Aww. Doesn't really look like he's crying. It looks like he's more like, what do you want? Like, that's the type of face. Jack, please talk to me. Say something at least. I want to help. He wouldn't budge, no matter how I tried to engage him. It was gut-wrenching standing there and incapable of doing anything more than watch someone you care about fall apart. What's going on? Why did you leave the club like that? They fired me on the spot. Final warning, I fucked up. Just enough for them to take away the job that I liked. The only one I was good at. That sucks. Fired you for spilling a drink? That's crazy. I can't believe everything you've been working up there for ages now. They wouldn't just let you go because of one mistake, would they? The manager wasn't fond of my antics. He wanted me to serve drinks, not show off it. Particularly if I was going to drop bottles or spill anything, this would just be an opportunity he was looking for. Jax, you can find another job. We can find you something else where you don't have to put up with that. You think that's easy? That's everywhere else is just the same. I had friends here, or maybe you didn't know that. I wanted to work here. I wanted to be here. Oh no, what did I say? Maybe you still can. That's not an option. See, I don't know where the conversation is gonna head if I say either of these things. Because maybe I still can, he's gonna get mad and say, no, I fucked up, and then walk away, and then that's not an option. What, you still think I can't be here? Oh man. Maybe you still can? I'm sure you still can. I mean, so what if you spill a drink here? Oh wait, hang on. I mean, so what if you spill a drink here or there? Customers likely do it all the time. We can go back and fight this. Fight what? The guy who ran the place? And who do you expect to do that? We go back in tomorrow morning and we have a long chat with him about the circumstances. I'm sure we can work something out. We can't. We couldn't. It took me forever to get that job. To actually find something I enjoyed as a job. Do you have any idea how rare that is? We don't know that, Jax. The guy was a jerk, and maybe we can explain to the manager. You got some friends there, maybe they can help you out. Even if they can't, we may still be able to get you a job somewhere else. Oh no, he's mad. Oh no, he's mad. Oh, Jax is mad. So that's it. You're just going to stand there and tell me that's okay, all okay? That doing something I love cannot just be yanked out from under me, and I should smile about it? Yeah, this is the conversation I did not want to have. I never seen Jack so livid. His scale shifted from a brilliant, almost violet red as both his hands balled tightly into his fist. I wasn't sure if his intention was to pummel me or just scream, but I watched him tremble in rage as that everything is going to be okay and we can just walk back inside right now and have everything stay the same, because I can't. I want you to admit it. I want you to tell me why you had to show up now, why you had to wave me, and why you had to make me look away, and why you fucking couldn't stay home. This was my fault? That's what you're saying? You know how crazy that sounds. I gave up my night and my chance to see you. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have come. You've been busy doing other stuff. Why come down now? Why this night? I didn't do anything, Jax. You spilled those drinks, you pissed off that jackass, It doesn't even seem like you saw me, though didn't get it to blame on me because it's convenient. I don't know why, but it seemed like I hit a nerve. Jax was no longer upset. He was livid and screaming at me. His voice echoed off the buildings nearby, his whole body trembling with a barely contained rage. Damn it, Zach! You never understood me. You never. What? Why did you call me Zach? Oh, wait, yeah, because I forgot to change my name. You never understood me. Your own fucking tiny little world. You never cared what happened to me. What / wanted to do. It's my life. I wanted my choice. You can go the fuck to hell. Oh. Jack shouting, hung in there for a moment, his body trembling as the last echoes reverberated through the alleyway. His scale shifted color wildly, arms tense as he was about to attack. It may oh my gosh. It may have been the look of confusion on my face, or something, or the shared silence between that flickering streetlight that brought him back, but the sudden realization was clear in his eyes. Oh crap, I didn't you. That wasn't. And no, it was as if his strings were cut. He fell onto his knees on the sidewalk and just stared at me and through me. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? You're not making any sense. I could feel my own frustration nipping at my heels. Jack stood there, agape, unmoving. Who he was to blame for all this. What was he thinking? Please. I'm sorry. I didn't. You didn't deserve me like that. I don't deserve you. My angled bellow belled away as I saw one of the most vibrant people I'd met look desperate for despair from the face of the earth. Sorry, Jax. Just when you snapped at me like that, I couldn't. I didn't mean to hurt you. I certainly didn't mean to get you fired. I'm sorry. Please, just tell me what's wrong. Jack's breath started to slow as he gathered himself together. The last few tears rolled down his cheeks as he compressed himself enough to stand. Sorry, I know it's been saying all that. Sorry, I know I've been saying that all night, but you didn't deserve that. I just couldn't see anything but my job ending and you weren't there anymore. It was just Zach giving me the judgmental stare. Who is Zach? Oh, he wasn't talking about me. He's talking about Zach. The guy I mentioned on our date. The first guy I dated. He was bigger piece of work than I let on. I didn't want to tell you about the breakup, that there was a bigger reason than just him being an asshole. I felt a twinge of anger rise against both at Zach and for what he must have done at Jax for feeling like he couldn't talk to me. I forced it down and just listened. Our last 4 days together were rough. Fights every day, shouting matches at home. That was the problem, and he had to make me understand why he thought at first the club had some hold on me, that I was just too weak to leave. He swallowed hard, his hands reaching out to lean against the street lamp, and keep himself upright. Instantly, I stepped closer to him. Should I take his hand? Take his free hand. Oh yeah, take his free hand. Yes, take his free hand. Tentatively, I extended my hand up to touch the top of his. At first, he drew back, lifting his gaze to mine again, before weaving his fingers between mine and giving my hand a gentle squeeze. I nodded to him, monitoring for him to continue. About a week before we broke up, he tried to get me fired. Set up an elaborate ruse in order just to get me in trouble so I wouldn't have any choice but to leave. He said he knew best. That I'd be better off if I didn't work there anymore. He said he was doing me a favor. It was a lot to take in at once. I thought it was odd. His dysentery is I don't even know how to say that. And his disinterest in guys being spurred on by nothing more than just a bad breakup. Being a little shaken up about dating is at all. But now I began to see the whole picture. This guy didn't just ignore him, he tried to completely dominate him. No wonder you snapped at me, Jax. I wasn't trying to do anything like that. You know that. I know. The manager has been expressing his displeasure more lately, and I just wanted to see you again, spend some time with you. I didn't pay attention, and I don't know. Maybe Zach was right. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. No one who could be fine with manipulating someone like that could be right about anything. You wouldn't have gotten this angry if I didn't mean anything. If I didn't mean something to you. That was real, not what some creep who wanted you as a trophy says, and not what some idiot who couldn't watch where they were going says. I guess there was really a reason I was willing to give you my number. Thanks, Timber. Thanks for everything. I think I just need to get some sleep. I try to calm down, you know? It's been a rough night. So I saw. You going to be alright? Jack swallowed hard, lifting his head as if it weighed remained around his neck. He met my gaze, letting a soft sigh before he found the words. I will be, if you stay the night with me. Ooh! Ooh! I was caught off guard by the request. Yeah, I was too. I didn't want to take advantage of his current emotional state, but at the same time, I didn't want to see him alone in bed. Oh no! With this sort of move looming over him, my hesitant must have been more apparent than I thought, as I noticed him step forward and kiss me gently on the cheek before pulling me into an embrace. I see the wheels are turning. I just don't want to wake up alone. I've got a couch if you don't want to share a bed. Though yeah, we're taking curl up and cuddle me still till I pass out. I'm sure you guess that I'm not exactly in a sexy mood. Yeah, I feel that way a lot. Should I tease him? No, this is emotional, so bedtime! I think I can keep my hands to myself for the most part. You look like you could use a long night of cuddling. I know about 5 different people on my phone that can use some cuddling. But they're all in different states. I certainly would not say no to that. Gently he wrapped his hand around mine and motioned downward the street in the direction he wanted us to go. Let's go. The walk back to his place was uneventful and very satisfying. He expressed some concern about my car, but it was locked, an immediately forgettable brand, so I wasn't too worried. We talked a bit more about him. I burped. About Zach and about living under someone like that. He was feeling better, letting someone in and sharing the part of his life. I couldn't fathom staying with someone like that, but it didn't explain more about him. His desire to please and showmanship. He wanted to be free and found a way to express that. We got in and settled. Jax could barely keep himself standing. He didn't even undress, and instead stumbled into bed with only the sodium street lamp. The sodium street lamp? What? To the light in his room. Oh, that's like the reflection or some shit. Nah, I said I was going to do the bed. Try not to disturb him, not that it seemed possible, considering how quickly he zonked out as I got comfortable. As I slid under the sheets next to him, I cuddled close and lightly kissed him on the cheek before drifting off to dreamland myself. Night time. Morning came all too quickly. The sun from the nearby windows poured over me and pulled me back into the waking world. I felt much better after a night's sleep, and I slowly pulled myself up into a seating position to surprise Jax. Jax was nowhere to be seen. I got up, began looking around. I heard sounds of a shower from behind the bathroom door. Oh no, I see where this is heading. I knocked softly to make certain he was alright. Morning, sleepyhead! Thanks for staying the night. Probably this soundest sleep I've had in ages. I'll be out in a minute. Yawning, I shrugged and wandered into the kitchen. The scent of fresh coffee was welcoming, as were the 2 toaster waffles with syrup. I chuckled and picked up the note laid next to them. Another thank you for keeping me company. Eat up, Jax. He said eat up, Jax. It wasn't bacon and eggs, but still appreciated. I wolfed down my impromptu breakfast and took a sip of coffee. Looking up, and when I seen Jack step into the kitchen in the doorway, as happy as I was to see the smile on his face, I couldn't help but wonder why it was. Not that I'm complaining, but you seem much happier this morning for some reason. Good shower? Ooh, that's a nice jacket. More like good company. That, and before what happened, I had a surprise planned. May not be the best way to do it, but can you grab me something out of the fridge? Sure. Despite the strange nature of their request, I obligated, pulling the door. I noticed a little more than a few cans of energy drinks and convenient packs. condemnant packs until I looked on the middle shelf. Smack dab in front of me was a giant whisker basket, one of the old style ones that they showed in every picnic picture. I looked up to ask what was this about. When I saw Jack standing there holding a rose, ooh, I made a mental note to figure out how he hid that from view. I wanted to do our third date before anything else can get in the way. We had a bad enough things happen last night. I wanted today to be all about us. That was why we're going on a picnic. Oh, that was awesome. I was flabbergasted. He placed the rose on the counter and leaned in, pressing his lips softly against mine before slipping his hands around my waist. He broke the kiss reluctantly and looked back at me. A picnic? Outside? Should I say wow, or I thought, or a picnic outside? Oh man. I should say some wow. Someone's telling me to say wow. Wow, this is amazing. When did you get around this little scheme? I thought it's fantastic. Thanks, I was hoping you'd like it. I just felt really bad about our last date and how short it was. I wanted to make sure that everything for this one was perfect. I certainly couldn't say no. He packed plenty of goodies for the both of us. Besides, it was supposed to be a beautiful day outside. I agreed, and he beamed up, shifting to nearly blinding shade of blue. I know the perfect place. Come on, we'll load everything into our car and head out right now. In his hurry, Jack's forgotten that my car was still parked at the club, which was a few blocks down the street. He soon realized his mistake as we walked into the parking lot, still reminded we wound up taking a detour back to the club, picnic basket, tow, and chatting along the way. As I suspected, my car was left undisturbed, and after we had unloaded everything into it, Jack pointed the way and we were off. He wouldn't tell me the name of the park, as he would through the back, as he come on, I can't read this, of the park, as we wound through the back streets to the outside of town. When the last of the buildings gave away, sparse homes, he finally... Oh man, I'm tired. He finally let me in on his secret. I used to come out this way sometimes when I was a freshman. Whenever classes got overwhelming and I needed a break from all the stress. So typical, I know, but sometimes laying on the grass and soaking up the sun just made everything better. Anyway, I found a spot near a little brick amphitheater that should go for a great picnic. When we arrived, we hit a snag. Apparently, there was same event going on, and they were in the middle of setting up. Jax was crestfallen until I noticed a overwhelming hill just a little deeper into the park. It was covered in a thick, freshly cut grass and a nice old oak tree to provide some shade. He brightened back up and the two of us tugged up into a narrow trail to the top of the hill. I almost rhymed. We were more than happy to have a seat after taking. I'm putting words into this. We were more than happy to have a seat after working our way up the remarkably stepped incline. Jack set out the dishes while I leaned back against the tree and enjoyed a dappled sunlight flittering through the branches. The dimpled sunlight. Are you in the mood for sandwiches, or did you want something a little lighter to start off with? Maybe go for a snack. Could go for a little something to start up with. I haven't eaten particularly well over the past days. The past day, toaster waffles notwithstanding, of course. I got some cheese and some fruit here. A little on the nose for a romantic picnic, but you can't beat a good finger food. That's true. He dug into the basket and produced a small platter with a variety of sliced cheeses and fresh cut fruits, along the pair of delicate forks glacining over the bread. Glacining over the spread. I couldn't help but laugh. Just how long have you been planning this little trip? This is not some sort of thing you expect to see for a spur-of-the-moment getaway. It was to host Moto. Anyways, always be prepared to dazzle your guests. Then they'll be more than likely to leave you a big tip. As we ate, snuggled up under the shade of the tree, our conversations wandered between our favorite stories to reminiscing about old flames. Jax insisted on hearing about my previous attempts in the dating scene, much to my own change again. It was only fair, considering I heard so much about his. It was really wound up being for the best if we broke it off. We just wanted two different things. Guess you never realize that until you've been together for a while. Jess got quiet, turning a shade of $2 as his gaze wandered over the edge of the hill into the sky beyond. I was concerned I said something to upset him, but he looked back at me after a moment with a half smile. Sorry, old memories. I didn't mean to pack those into the sandwiches and pudding. I guess I felt the same way with Zach. You're the one who wanted to talk about old flames. There are much more pleasant things to talk about, you know, and more pleasant things to do. Just going to leave one hanging there, huh? I grinned at him slightly, enjoying watching his scales shift to a shade of more purple, waving them over the two of us snuggled up under the blanket. Up on the blanket, not under, and took a moment to enjoy the day. It seemed like the sun still had its desired effect on Jax. Pretty soon, he was all but sprawled against me, his eyes closed and his scales settling into serene coloring. It's been a while since I had time to do this. Zach wasn't one for the outdoors. He relished his air conditioning and leather seats. You seem entirely preoccupied with your ex when your certain date is sitting right here. I get the feeling there's something you want to tell me. He got quiet for a moment, staring wistfully onto the clouds above us both. As I knew he was a guarded person, but we'd gotten this far and certainly hadn't gotten the whole story. He wasn't just my first relationship, he was also my first. Ooh. Ooh! First, what? Oh, wait. You've been only with one other person. Yes. Yes, quite, Timber. He has been with one other person. No, silly. Just no other guys. It's just sort of different. I've gotten on well with women, but we never quite clicked in the same way. I just never seemed to find the spark with them after Zach. Honestly, at the rate I was going, I figured to be single for a long time. I don't know how you could even think that. Not when you're such a charmer with flair and for the dramatic. You said you could pick anyone in the club if you wanted. I'm just saying it because I find you attractive. Because I'm finding myself some rather serious urges around you. And I wanted our first time together to be exciting. I'm worried I'm a little rusty is all. Oh no. First time, did you have some ulterior motive this little picnic that I was unaware of? How dare you? I'm gonna send you to horny jail, Jax! Doesn't everyone have Oh my god. What? Ulterior motives at their picnics? Why do you think they bring a bottle of wine? Just to get drunk? Get laid? Wanna fuck? No. I chuckled and snuggled up closer, giving his forehead a kiss. Oh, look at that pretty little forehead. I should bite the piercing. I'm gonna bite the fucking piercing. It was readily apparent from Jack's enthusiasm that we were into each other. The only question that remained was what to do about it. Despite our urges, I still wasn't sure what to do next. Under the park, in the park, I felt his body against mine, was already making my toes curl. I didn't want to force myself onto him. We were both getting back into the swing of things, and holding him close enough to set my skin on fire. Oh, Jesus. My attempt to chaste cuddling was woefully short, as he had no hesitation asserting his own interest. His smooth snout gently inched under my jaw, nibbling at my neck as soft strokes of his tongue tickled my skin. No, your fur, Timber, your fur, not your skin, but your fur. My grip on his bick grew, yeah, that's literally what it says, back, grew tighter as I felt him move against me, pressing onto my chest, delicately brushing his hand along my inner thigh. Oh no, Roof, you're having some, oh my god. Ruff, you are having so much fun with this, aren't you? I am. I really am. Though, it still begs the question why you're why aren't you more into me? Believe me, I would like nothing better than to be with you right now. I mean, into you, I mean. My cheeks felt like they were on fire as I rested my hands on Jax's sides. Was holding the back so much, he was making it so hard to keep my hands off of him. He turned a lighter shade of purple as his head turning to my through to face mine. Those deep orange eyes looked up into mine as I felt my own cheeks begin to flush, as I felt him shaft on my lap, lifting himself upward until his lips pressed firmly against my own. His scales were still warm from the sun, almost hot to the touch, and glistened as he pressed more needfully against me. The smooth fingertips trailed down my sides and over the small of my back as the tongues met within each other's mouth. Other tongues! Oh! They're actually kissing. As our tongues met within each other's mouths, the kiss from our last date had been warm and passionate. This one was needful, demanding, and adorably forward. My own hands found their way to the smooth curves of his rump. Grab that ass. Brushing over the fabric there, he picked up his uniform from work. The same outfit we first met in. I could feel the thin strip of the fabric against my stomach as he arched his hips against mine. Okay, this is getting a little... Oh wow, I haven't felt like this in a long time. Timber. I'll take that as a compliment. Jack took my hands from his middle with a hot flush of desperation on his face as he looked around in sparsely populated field. Quick, Timber, no one's watching. Oh no! We about to do this out in public? No, Jax, don't do it! No! Horny jail! No! Jax, how can I say no? Oh man, I think that was it. That was it. Oh dang! Luckily, I turned on the safe for work on. Thank God. I thought I would have to edit that. Dimly, I was aware of something happening around us. Flashes of light and thunderous booms registered throughout the afterglow haze. At first, I thought it was the intensity from our coupling, the blood pounding through my head as my body seemed to merge into pure heat with Jack's. At the pinnacle of our pleasure, however, we sank into each other's embrace. We noticed the source of the distraction. Oh no, people were taking pictures. The tents we had passed before apparently been for some kind of festival. Once the sun had gone low enough, the eager participants have begun to shoot off fireworks. Oh, that's cool, but okay. In the celebration of the two of us, happy watched as the colors filled the sky above. Ha! Fireworks. I wanted our first time to be memorable, but timing delivered better than I planned. We both laughed, arms holding each other slightly as we laid back against the tree to enjoy the show. Always a showman. It was well past dinner when we finally got up from the tree behind us Only a few streetlights remained twinkling in the streets beyond the edge of the park. The fireworks had finally subsided, and the two of us admitted we should probably get dressed. Yeah, been naked that whole time. We gathered our things and picked up and sprawled picnic basket and kicked over into the enthusiastic romp, taking each other's hand as we made our way back down the trail and towards the car. I'm not sure if I'll be able to top this for our fourth day. Don't worry, I'm always available for anything. For any your topping needs. Oh man. It was worth the bad joke just to see Jack's deep purple and squirm as we strolled past the obvious fair goers and down the parking lot below. I sniffed a chuckle as he threw me a playful death glare before the both of us burst out laughing. That's cool. Timber, thank you for being there, for putting up with my outburst, for screwing your brains out. What? Horny jail, Timber. Horny jail. Especially for screwing my brains out. I guess with everything falling apart at the club, I think I was holding on to a lot of shit from Zach and doubting myself. We've all got that, Jax. We've got to find a way to move past it. It was pretty overwhelmed when we first met. I hadn't really been back in the game myself for long. You, on the other hand, were so together and so sure of yourself. It's why I wanted to get to know you better. I hope we have plenty of time for that and the other more fun parts. I'm confident we will. On both accounts. I see no reason to stop now. Good, because the fourth date is all you, Timber. Let's see you try to do better than games in the park 2 fireworks. I'll let you tell everyone you thought that, if it makes you feel better. He punched me playfully in the shoulder, pausing to slide the picnic basket into the backseat of the car. Once inside, he leaned over and gave me a small peck on the cheek, his hand falling onto my thigh. With you around, I just might be able to get through this. I hope so. More dates like this, and you'll have some thoroughly spoiled. Despite joking, Jack's color began to fade again. His eyes drifting to the window. My smile faded as I put the car into gear and pulled out of the space. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to figure out what to do. I don't have a job to get up for my rent. It's not going to pay itself. We'll deal with it together. Fresh in the morning. Let's just hold on to today for a bit longer at least. He smiled, hugging my arm gently before settling back into his seat. The conversation drifted back to me. My job hunt, just the little things to keep him distracted. Guess this is my stop. Don't suppose I could convince you to stay another, right? Night. I have the whole box of freezer waffles. I wanted you to say yes and ride this to the end. Just pretended life didn't need to happen and just stay in the honeymoon phase forever. I moved to speak, but he smiled and stopped at me. But we have things to do first. We'll have to get get everything settled, and then the regular sleepovers, those Mama Graham towels, and probably wait a while. It was a tease, but it hung there, tantalizing and just on the cusp of being real. It was a terrible idea to hide out with Jax with the both of us unemployed, but in that moment it didn't matter. We kissed one more time, enjoying the taste of each other for a few moments before Jack opened the door and gave me a parting wave. Tomorrow, bright and early, we'll figure out our problems and then we'll get back to the good stuff. It's a date. Drive home was the hardest. It has been a roller coaster for this far. Getting this far and just driving away felt like I was tearing off a chunk of myself. Still, what we had was worth waiting for, and tomorrow was going to be another day worth waking up to. That potential would be enough to see me through the night, especially if I might just get to see Jax again. Alright guys, that was basically an hour of episode. I think this is episode 3, The Date with Jax. Oh my god, that was an intense one. Hey look, there's Sky again. Okay, I think that one it's actually ended, so we won't be doing another one with Jax. But yeah, thanks for doing this game, because it's amazing. I love it. I'm pretty sure the whole furry community loves it and has heard about it. But I think it would be really cool if we could give the characters voices and have like voice actors, because I suck at talking. And I know this is supposed to be a dialogue type of game. It's not really. It's more of like a you play along. It's basically a role play, but like, you know, all that other stuff too. But yeah, guys, that would probably do it for this episode, and special thanks to whoever those people are. Can't really read them, going up too fast. But yeah, guys, we'll send Jax to horny jail, because that was definitely a horny jail moment. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.